Welcome. Welcome back. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge, and I'm so happy to see you today. We are getting close to the end of this 40-day practice. I love doing these 40-day sessions. It takes basically 6 weeks to create a new pattern, 40 days of focused commitment. It takes 4 months to really establish that pattern as part of your being. So in this 6 weeks, in this 40 days, we're focusing on getting unstuck. And so I want to bring this up and have different focuses, turn the jewels slightly differently so that we can see different elements to getting unstuck. And one of those ways to me brings to mind, for me, the great American statesman, or supposedly great, Henry Clay. Henry Clay is quoted as saying that the art of politics is compromise. The art of politics is compromise. Now, that doesn't seem to be the art of politics in today's world. The art of politics in today's world is the antithesis of compromise. When we are in a group and we are involved in some sort of discussion in which we come to a compromise, that compromise represents all of us to some degree. If you're involved with politics with the idea that we are going to win no matter what it takes, that is the opposite of compromise, of finding a way to move towards wholeness. And so I want to suggest that it's really hopefully helpful for us to take a look at why we're arguing. What is the point of the argument? Is the point to come to a consensus, or is it to win by any means necessary? It reminds me of what I've experienced many times, when someone would see me and have racial feelings. I've been in a lot of environments where someone would have racial feelings, and very often one of two things would happen. Either they would walk into the space, maybe it would be a coffee shop or something, and see me and suddenly be riveted by me, like they can't take their attention off of me. They're so filled with the intensity of their emotion about having someone who, whatever I represent, means to them, that they can't take their eyes off. They are walking through the room and they're staring at me all the way through. Another type of person is the type of person who sees you and immediately shifts their vision away from you, so it's almost as though light bends around you. They see everything but you. So they're only seeing you or seeing everything but you. Now, to me, what both of those elements represents are forms of ignorance. It's a form of focusing so much on what you want that you're ignoring other details. When you focus so much on what you want that you ignore other possibilities, other elements of evidence, so that the only thing that matters is your candidate wins or your particular view of reality wins. It's not about blending and finding a way that we can work together. It's about what I believe has to happen. So this is what I would call ignorance. To ignore all the facts so that only the facts that make it look like you are right are the ones that are focused on. It relates to this word to be fooled. If someone fools you, on some level they are willfully misleading you. They're fooling you. You can have a person who fools themselves along with you, but on some level there is some willful element. There is an ignoring of facts in order to fool themselves. And so I want to suggest to you that this is one of the ways that we get stuck. We get stuck through ignorance. We get stuck through foolishness. It doesn't do you any good to argue with someone who's fooling themselves. It doesn't do you any good to argue with a foolish person. And sometimes the foolish person is you yourself. Because sometimes we all get so caught up in what we think is right that we ignore other elements. This is when we step into hypocrisy. And so I want to encourage you to avoid arguing with foolish people. What is the point of the argument? If you are arguing with someone who has no sense of working to come to truth, then the argument is really not about bringing about truth. It doesn't do you any good to argue with someone in a road rage incident, because this is not a person who is looking to be illuminated. Why are you honking your horn? If the point of you honking your horn is to get another person's attention, it's one thing. If it's to express your opinion, it's something altogether different. In that case, when we're honking our horn to express our opinion, what we are actually doing is becoming foolish ourselves. So it's just a suggestion. I want to hear what you have to say. What are you doing to work towards becoming more open to whatever is true? Because that's the essence of being unstuck. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. When we talk about the word positive indifference, the phrase positive indifference, it's about being open to every possibility and making the best choice in any of those possibilities. I bring my hands together and I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you.